That's great. Hey, today I'm gonna make some salmon. All right, so fennel and salmon wrapped in parchment paper with some lemon and butter. I looked this recipe up online. It looks pretty good. Unfortunately, the recipe didn't really tell me what fennel was, so I had to look that up separately. And then, I don't know how to get this into the design that they used in the recipe. They just said add fennel. And it made me remember the. Have you ever heard the story about the sandwich, where you're supposed to teach someone how to make a sandwich, and a lot of students are like, put jelly on the bread, put peanut butter on the bread, and the teacher's like, what's jelly? And she's challenging the students to really do a good job explaining what each step is. And I find that as helpful as they are, so many cooking videos have, I forget what author said it, but they have the curse of knowledge. And it's where they're cursed with knowing so much that they forget the details. So I need details. So I'm watching multiple different videos to try and figure out what I'm actually supposed to do to make the dish, following the first recipe. So here's fennel. I'm gonna wash it. And by wash, I just mean I'm gonna run some water on it and rub it with my fingers. So if there's any dirt or pesticides, maybe some of it'll come off. I don't know. All right, fennel. And I did watch in a video, I watched kind of how to cut it up, and that, I can reuse some of this fluffy stuff to be fancy and serve as a garnish. So I'm going to try and do what they said online. Another interesting thing is it's so easy to, underestimate how difficult it is when you finally Googled fennel and you know what it looks like, to go in the store and say, okay, which of these 20 fennel should I get? It smells really interesting. But so the video I watched, I'll link it wherever I post this. I'll link it because I think it's helpful, and I want to give them credit for giving me the information. But they said to basically just look for one that's nice and firm and doesn't have too many brown spots. This was the best I could find. It has little blemish here and a little blemish there, but it's overall it's quite good. So next thing I'm supposed to do is, well, the video said to cut it in quarters, but the recipe shows them cut in semicircles. So I'm going to try and just leave it like this and cut it up. That's a stupid way to do it. There we go. I don't know why I forgot for a second how to do everything. Probably because I'm talking. Seeing if this was actually a usable piece. Alright, and so there's this core in the middle that I'm not going to be able to use, and the video said to remove the core. Oh gosh, it's, when I cut onions, the layers fall apart really easily. These are a little tougher to separate. Oh no, they're fine. There's just that one piece, that core's hanging on for dear life. But this is probably plenty. Just try and put all the usable bits together in a pile and put all the trash bits together in a pile. I can't get over how interesting this smells. Alright, I'm just not going to use that whole piece because it doesn't want to let go. It's kind of like that outer layer of the onion is really rubbery and tough. That's kind of rubbery and tough, so I'm not going to use it. I don't want to eat that. I'm going to do something here. I read that you can just eat this raw, and so for the very first time I'm just going to taste it. This wasn't planned, but it smells so interesting. I just want to see what it tastes like. Okay, so, no, I don't like it. It tastes, but I'm shocked. It tastes exactly like licorice. That tastes like black licorice, and I hate licorice. Or red licorice? I haven't had either one since I was a kid. But that just brought back like bad Halloween memories of eating this candy that looks really cool and feels fun to play with, but tastes like garbage. So the video said that, hey, it tastes like, it might have said licorice. I don't remember. But it said it tastes really sweet cooked. So I look forward to the cooked flavor because I do not like the uncooked flavor at all. We'll see what happens with that. This is an experiment. You know, I cook a lot of steak and hamburgers, and I don't do much seafood. So I'm just trying to try something new and, you know, pass on my experience as I go. If I'm doing something wrong, you know, I won't be offended if you post a comment and say, hey, don't do it that way, do it this way instead. You know, I'll learn from it, and everyone else watching will learn from it too, so that'll be great. I have a big pile of fennel. Now I need to go look at the instructions, because I don't remember what to do next, but I'm pretty sure it involves parchment paper and putting this stuff together. Hey. You tired? I'm recording a video. Do you like my tripod?
Yeah.
Do you want to walk over there and say hi?
Sure.
No, over there.
Over there.
Yeah, it's aimed at the kitchen. Yep,
Right here?
you're on. Hey, taste some of that. I think you'll like it. It tastes like licorice.
Which one?
This one. This is the trash pile. This is the good pile. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They're just like the harder inner bits.
Yeah.
But yeah, pick one and just taste a piece. What do you think?
I tasted another dry.
Doesn't it? You're welcome to eat the whole thing.
Thank you. Can I go? Yeah. Can I come back at 8?
Yeah.
Thanks. Also, I'm writing a song for you for Christmas. That's your Christmas present this year.
Okay. I'm sure I'll love it. My daughter eats better than I do. Alright, so I bought, the whole reason I'm making this dish is because I saw this on sale. And I've been interested in cooking more seafood. This one is kind of creepy because it really looks like a fish. Because it is a fish. But anyway, it was like $5 for this huge slab of wild caught salmon. So I moved it from the freezer to the fridge last night, so it's all soft and thawed. I'm going to pour out this juice. Actually, I'm not going to pour it out. I'm just going to take it out of the bag and throw the whole bag away. But yep, I just double checked the instructions. It says to take parchment paper, which this is. Don't want to use plastic wrap. You know what? The instructions don't say how much bigger my parchment paper needs to be than my salmon. So I'm going to just put like a generous overlap. This is like 4 inches on each side lengthways. I don't know. So that's another thing, like, you know, you don't want a 200-page instructions on how to cook, but a little more detail would be nice. So, thinly sliced fennel is what we're putting the salmon on top of. I don't know if I got it thin enough. What's thinly sliced? I feel like that's kind of thickly sliced, but I don't know. I'm sure it'll work out just fine. I'm supposed to preheat the oven to 350. I checked a couple of recipes. Some was like 10 minutes for 425, and they had you cook the vegetables first. Like you cook them halfway, and then you throw the meat on and cook it for the last 10 minutes. So then, because the vegetables take longer. This one is kind of like low and slow, 350 degrees the whole time. So that's what I went for. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to stack these. They're kind of like, in the picture it showed some overlap, like they were kind of sticking out from the fillet. But I don't want it too stacked. Like I want it spread out kind of even. So I think that'll be okay. No, I need to make it longer. It's tricky too because they were working with like a little chunk. I don't know if this is on camera. They were working with a little chunk, you know, like a piece, and I'm cooking a whole fillet at once, so it's a little different. I think that'll be fine. And I'm probably getting too fussy about it. I think it's one of those things, if I don't overcook it, it's probably going to be fine no matter how I do it. That smells good. It doesn't smell like fish, it doesn't stink. So I'm happy about that. No one wants stinky fish. Fish shouldn't smell like fish. So I'm just gonna zip that up and throw it away. And I think this is off camera, but I'm gonna wash my hands. I put the water on full blast straight onto my elbow kit by accident because I was trying to turn the water on without touching it with my fishy hands, and so I used like my forearm, and I had a little less control of that, so I sprayed it all over the place. I don't think the recipe says whether I'm supposed to season both sides or not. Some recipes that I read say do both sides, this one doesn't. So one of the things it called for was lemon. So I'm gonna rinse this off and cut it up real quick. This is kind of fun. But when you're hungry, it's a pretty big barrier to cooking to like, I don't know if this is going to be any good. So I'm going to try and make a dish I've never made. I'm pretty hungry. I haven't eaten since lunch. I kind of want something to eat. I really hope it doesn't suck. Okay. So, calls for salt and pepper. Which I have. I don't know how much. So I'm just gonna put salt and pepper on it. Doesn't say like, you know, I don't want to over salt it, but if anything, I tend to under season things. That's why it tastes better when Mindy makes stuff, because she puts the appropriate amount of seasoning. So I try and put more on than I think should go on, so it ends up still being less. But we'll see what happens. Some lemon juice. And because it's on parchment paper, it's going to be wrapped. So there's not going to be any flipping to this one. It's going to be wrapped and basically steam itself in its own juices inside the parchment paper, which I thought was pretty cool. Also, I'll do better if I don't see it cooking, because if I see it cooking, I'll probably just want to mess with it. I'll like look under it all the time and flip it over and flip it over and flip it over. I tend to ruin things like that. So this works well for me. And then, you know, the website showed something kind of fancy like this, which I think looks really nice. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to put butter on it. Let me go look. So earlier I referenced the exercise in school where you have to teach someone how to make a sandwich. I was pretty bad at school. There's that other lesson where you're supposed to read all of the instructions before you begin. Well, I just scrolled down. I've read them, but I didn't remember. I read them yesterday. So now I'm just like, got off work and I'm jumping into it. 7 o'clock, hungry, and I scroll down and I realize they do tell you how much parchment paper to use, and how much butter to use, and how many lemons to use. So they also said to slice the fennel paper thin. And I feel like I've got a solid 10 sheets of paper, so I hope they don't really mean paper thin. I think they just mean thin. Probably thinner than I have. So I'm sure it'll be fine. It probably won't be as intended. They might be a little undercooked because they're so much bigger. I'm sure it'll still be fine. And I bet my lemons are a little thicker too. I'm just mediocre with a knife. I don't cut myself. I don't do like mandolin quality knife cutting, which if you don't know, mandolin is like this thing you stick it on and slide back and forth, and it like if you ever watch them slice the big clumps of like roast beef and it slides across that thing, it's kind of like a mandolin. But yeah, 2 tablespoons of butter. That's what I do next. We don't do much dairy in this household, but I was pretty excited. I went out and bought some butter just for this recipe. We're oven's preheated, so we do a lot with, not Miracle Whip either. It's like, I don't even know what it's called. It's some sort of spread. It actually tastes good, but it's not butter. I don't know what this means. Oh, I see. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you have to count the gaps. Okay, so there's 8 tablespoons here. I won't draw them. That was stupid. I want 2 of them. So I'm taking it this way. I don't know if that's the best way, but I'm doing it. I don't know if this is how they intended us to, the readers to get the butter, but I'm doing it like this. Is this supposed to be paper thin? Now I want cheese. Slicing this butter makes me want cheese and crackers. So I'm gonna move this, put them here. I almost just ate one. I love butter, it looks good. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take a little piece. Let's take it off the non-sharp side. So, true story. My sister used to eat butter and think it was ice cream. And my daughter used to eat the butter spray. It's not really butter. I can't believe it's not butter spray. And it was just the best. So I think this is ready. I think now I'm supposed to do some sort of origami tent. So I'm going to take another break, wash the butter off my hands, and go look at how to fold this into a nice little package so the steam gets trapped in there. Be right back. Alright, that seems pretty simple. I screwed up the whole thing. Again, I didn't read all the way through the directions. This is why cooking a dish over and over and over again makes your day so much better. Cooking a new dish is always hard, especially when you don't read the directions, like I'm doing. But once I've made this like 5 times, it'll be just like, I can carry on a conversation and make it, and it'll be totally fun and fast and easy, and I won't even have to think about it. That's how I am. I can cook a steak anytime I want. I can cook some burgers. There's a lot of other dishes that I'm really comfortable with. This is a new one for me, and I'm going really, really slow. Like, I don't think I've ruined anything so far, but I'm going slow, and it's not going to be as good as it will be the 3rd time. Actually, these were on sale, and I was committed to making sure that I really learned how to make this because salmon's always been something that I wanted, I bought 3 of them. So I'm going to make this 3 times, not tonight. But over the next 2 weeks, I'll make it 3 times. And I'll film each one. I bet the 3rd one will be the best. You know, that's how things go. It's a skill. Alright, so what I screwed up was, instead of putting this in the middle, I was supposed to put it on the bottom half and fold it over. That's no problem. I'm just gonna kind of try and scoot all this down. That's no big deal. It's just, you know, it's double work on this one step that I wouldn't have had to do if I was comfortable with the recipe. Woo. Also, they wrap one fillet at a time in the instructions, so I feel like this could have been cut into like 3 or 4 fillets and then wrapped individually. I'm not doing that. Maybe I'll do it next time. I don't know, the instructions aren't clear on like what to do if you have a big slab of salmon. They just, they kind of magically start in the middle with wrap your salmon fillet. That's where the instructions start. So it's kind of like I'm the teacher saying, okay, what is bread and how do you get bread, when the student says the first step of making a sandwich is to get bread. So I'm going to try and follow the instructions here. I have a lot of extra room. So they showed a much more tight package where the fillet actually took up the whole space. So they kind of had it like folding a corner and then folding this over and then folding this corner over. I'm going to have to bring it in a little bit, I think, to get it as tight as it should be. So mine's just going to be different. But I'm going to follow the general principle, which is you follow corner over corner, fold the overlapping corners to get it locked in. That's not rocket science, I don't think, but I'm probably doing it wrong. Again, I won't take offense if you say that I'm screwing it up, as long as you say it, you know, halfway nice. I'm sure I would benefit from it. Everyone watching will benefit from it. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I'll make it better next time. And then I'll share how I did that. I don't know how to get this into close though. I want to like roll it like a burrito. And now I want a burrito. I'm going to read the instructions again and see how they close this up. Theirs is more of a circle. Yeah, so there's nothing I can do to salvage this based on the directions. The directions have a fillet cut this way. You know, I have long fillet here. They have the fillet cut, well, I haven't got that far. I'll just open it up. They have the fillet cut, you know, like this. So it's longer this way, and they turn it, and then they have a lot more paper on the width of the parchment paper. I've left mine this size, so I have a lot less room to overlap. So I don't really have room to fold this up the way they do. So I might do a little bit of a, I'll try and do what they do, but then I might end up like sneaking it under the edge when I put it on the pan, just to pin it down. Because like I can get the corners pretty nice, I think, but there's just not much I can do with this section. There's not enough curvature, whereas they wrapped it in a nice round package. It looked really fancy. Plus the parchment paper was brown and mine's white, so I think theirs just looks cooler. I don't know what the difference is. Probably none. Like, yeah, these flaps are so big, they're going under. Okay, that'll lock it in. I'm gonna put these, yeah. So I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna tuck these under. I don't see any reason why that won't work. I mean, it's not perfect. Alright. Wish me luck. I'm gonna put this in and then stop the video get them back in, I think it was 20 minutes. I'll double check the instructions after I turn the video off. But however many minutes this calls for, we'll see how it turns out. No, I'm not eating anymore. It was not as good as I remembered, actually. We're back, and the kitchen did not magically clean itself. I'm pretty excited. I have 2 minutes left, and I haven't looked at it once because it's wrapped in parchment paper. So, like I said, I can't get in there and screw it up. It's in the parchment paper, and I'm just going to wait till the timer goes off and take it out and totally trust that it's going to be fine. So, while I wait these last 2 minutes to get my salmon, I was going to clean up a little bit. I was actually supposed to put these fluffy things on top. I'm sure it won't make that big of a difference. It's too late now. So whatever. Next time, I'll put them on there. If I was a better human being, maybe I would like find a way to reuse these. It kind of looks like celery with something I might find in my yard. I'm throwing it away. I'm not going to reuse this. I might put it in my fridge with good intentions of like finding some way to reuse the stalks and the fluffy things, but that's not going to happen. It'll just rot. So, 1 minute left. I know you can't see me. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. I don't have time to actually wash this stuff, but I can get the goo off of it. Salmon. Okay. Oh, I can hear it like boiling. The paper's kind of brown. That looks a lot like the picture. So I'm pretty pleased with that. It says to serve immediately. Let's turn the oven off. That's important. Eat it. I'm just going to keep filming and eat it. I'm recording this with my phone, so I had it plugged into the charger while we were away because, you know, it's not like a real video camera, so it started to die. No forks. This is literally one of 2 clean forks in the entire house. Let's see. I'm going to turn this around just so it's visible on the video. I hope it's good. Oh, there's juice coming out. That's why you wrap it up, not underneath. Now I know. If you wrap it underneath, then when you try and unwrap it, all the juice pours out all over the place. Lesson learned. Oh my gosh, that smells good. I don't know if it's going to be good though. I watched something else and they talked about this white stuff coming out being a bad thing. Like being that it's, dang it. That it's overcooked. So I hope I didn't ruin it. I shouldn't have overcooked it. I mean, I did 350 for 20 minutes, just like the recipe said. And just like I thought, the fennel's a little hard because it was cut too thick. There we go. But I'm just going to go for it. I mean, it smells good. It smells like fennel and lemon and salmon. Go figure. So I'm going to just take a piece. See what happens. Maybe I should put this on a cutting board. I have these really cheap knives. They look cool. They suck. So I kind of abuse them. I cut with them on plates and hard objects because I just don't care. I mean, I care about the food. These particular. I do have some good knives that I treat very well, but these not so much. All my fennel came out from underneath while I was trying to scoop it up. It's definitely, the fennel's way too thick. Should have been half as thick, I think. And probably twice as much fennel. That's okay. Alright. We're doing this right here. It's, I mean, it seems okay. It doesn't seem like real dry and nasty. It's flaking apart, you know, it's not gooey either. So it might be, that white stuff concerns me. I was reading that this white stuff is like the fat that comes out or something. There was a name for it. But, I don't know. I'm just going to try a little piece. Ah, this stuff's hard. Yeah, that didn't really get cooked as much. It's actually pretty good. It's not like amazing. I hope it's better next time. But and the skin's still on there. It kind of just, the skin kind of just dissolved into the meat. But yeah, it's good. I don't think I'm a big fan of fennel, but maybe thinner and cooked longer would be good. I don't know why all the white stuff came out, but this definitely does not taste overcooked. It's not dry. It's nice and juicy. I think having it wrapped in the parchment paper, there's a lower risk of making it all nasty and dry because it's steamed it's steamed and baked at the same time. I don't know if I really want to eat the skin. It kind of freaks me out. I've never had skin on fish, so I'm going to take kind of those outer layers off. Aren't those scales? I don't know, they're soft. Not hard. But it's good. I'm happy with it. First time making it edible. I think I cooked salmon like a couple years ago and it was nasty and I never tried again. Pretty sure I did it in the pan too, so I burned the crap out of it. But yeah, this is good. And I think the fennel and lemon and salmon, like those flavors go really well together. I'm sure the butter helps too. I'm happy with it actually. There's another recipe with asparagus and one with peppers and green beans, I think it is. So this is my first time ever having fennel. I think I would prefer those more hearty flavors. So there's a really bright flavor, but it's good. I'm going to turn the video off. Thanks for joining me. I think it was a success overall, you know. So I'm going to get my daughter to try it too. We'll see how it goes.